Time for the star of our show. Time for the U.S. COVID-19 numbers for today. And again, I remind you that I'm only doing COVID-19 analysis right now for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that means that the COVID-19 or the vaccine analysis will be on a Monday instead rather than Sunday. Okay. Okay. So let's go and take a look at the U.S. numbers here. Okay, America. Let's see exactly what's going on. And one of the things that's curious about COVID-19 is how it's being tracked compared to other diseases. Because what happens is that we count COVID-19, say, or not COVID-19, we count, say, cancer, heart disease death a year at a time. So every January 1st, we set the counter back to zero for say heart disease and cancer. We don't say, well, we had X number of cases, X number of cancer deaths since January 1st of 2020. But that's exactly what we're doing with COVID-19. Okay, so this is something to think about. So when you see the numbers on the TV, this says 49.6 million. That's since January 1st, January of 2020. When you see 794,649 deaths, that's since the last week of February of 2020. Okay, so to me, that's slightly misleading. Okay, because once again, they're trying to emphasize that the biggest. I mean, if I look at this number, I think, well, what's the point? Obviously, the vaccine isn't working. Obviously, masks aren't working. Obviously, this and that. Because if they were working, then why are these numbers continuing to increase? Okay, why are they continuing to increase? Okay, so the question is this: how many cases are we averaging per day right now? Well, right now, the number is about 272,286, 287 deaths or cases per day in the U.S., which projects out over the next 12 months to 26.4 million more cases. We're currently averaging 1,222 deaths per day. That projects out to another 446,266. Okay, so let's take a look at the cases first. You can see that U.S. COVID-19 cases have passed 2020 cases, and that the third quarter of 2021 is the quarter with the third most cases so far. Now we take a look at months. You can see here we did have this nice declining pattern all the way down to like June. Then we had this big spike back over here, 3 month increase in the U.S. Then numbers fell back down to a little over 2 million per month. Okay. Hopefully this will be a much lower number in these. Hopefully this is going to be the beginning of a new downward trend in COVID-19 cases in the U.S. And what about weekly case? Again, you see this long declining pattern of weekly cases. The spike over here beginning in July, another drop. Then it does appear to be leveling off right here. Okay, cases by week or by day. Yuka with data is on the is actually listening on the channel. But she actually introduced me to this particular stream also. It looks like a Japanese couple who perform uh, jazz. Okay, the her husband or her boyfriend, who he is, plays the electric acoustic. I'm gonna call it electric guitar, but not a. It's a or amplified. Maybe it's an amplified acoustic guitar or something like that. And she sings, and they're a very nice couple, and they're also the jazz is very good, very good. Okay, and actually it was Yuka with Data who actually rated them one time when I was on Yuka's channel. Okay, but anyway, you can see here that the U.S. On January 8th had 303,487,000 deaths or cases, before falling down to a low down here around 8,713. Then another spike back up on September the 7th at 265,429. Now it appears, so you can see on December the 8th, we had 149,401 cases. The current daily average is 119,949 cases on average, based on the 14-day average. So now let's take a look at the deaths. I always remind ourselves that the deaths is more important than the cases, because that's how pandemics are measured. They're measured by deaths and not cases, or not hospital beds, and not ICU units. COVID, diseases are always measured by deaths. That's the barometer to use to measure the impact of a disease. Okay, so you can see that 21 cases for deaths. 21 deaths for the U.S. have passed the 2020 cases for deaths for the U.S. Again, you can see that the deaths for the third quarter of 2020 are the third most so far for any quarter. And again, you can see this nice big declining pattern deaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was a very important period. It really knocked our numbers down, slowed our numbers down for the year. Then you had a 2-month increase, but it looks like December is going to be the third month in a row. Once again, we had a decline in COVID-19 deaths. Okay. Again, you can see this long declining pattern here on deaths on a weekly basis, the spike, and the dip back down here on weekly deaths. Okay. What about daily deaths? So you can see on January 20, our deaths spiked to 4,442. Then during the spring and summer, he dropped down to around, say, the mid to low triple digits. Here's at 82, 152, a spike back over here on September the 16th at 3,461 deaths. And for December the 9th, we had 1,419 deaths, with a daily average of 1,344 deaths per day. So the question is, how many cases for every 100,000 people, how many people have COVID-19? Well, on average, that number is right around about 35, 30 to 35. Okay? Now, the fun one is this: for every 100,000 people, how many people are dying from COVID-19? Well, the answer is, on average, one half of a person is dying from COVID-19. For every 100,000 people, one half of a person is half of a person is dying from COVID-19 for every 100,000 people in America today. but that's not a number that the administration or the news media wants us to know. They don't want us to know in America how few people are being, what percentage of the population is affected and what percentage of the population is dying of COVID-19. Okay. Okay, so that concludes our COVID-19 analysis for today. Be back in a couple minutes with an update. So that concludes. Okay, since this does conclude the COVID-19 analysis,